Last year at the VMAs, the highlight was Chappell Roan getting into a back and forth with the paparazzi, and nothing that interesting happened this time around, but I did want to talk about the highlights. First of all, some moments from the red carpet that just really show, I feel like affirmed in my hypothesis that award shows are basically the Office Christmas parties for celebrities, because none of them want to be there and they all have to act really excited and like they're all best friends.
Yeah, totally.
This moment of Lola Young striking poses on the red carpet just kind of exemplifies how awkward it is for everybody. She like doesn't know what to do.
Whoa.
Thank you guys.
Whoa.
We'll show it after the crisis party.
Need like a new one-handed dance because I only have one hand right now.
Okay, let's show Lola Young.
Let's show it.
This would actually be me on a red carpet. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. A lot of people would say drugs, but I think she's sober.
She's just spamming the same emote.
Yeah, no, that just looks to me like she's just like, yeah, this really doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
It's giving Elon Musk on the red carpet.
I think this is, I actually, that's a total troll in my opinion, which is awesome.
He just
Okay,
kept hitting the
this-
same emote.
This next photo of Ariana Grande and Tate McRae posing together really shows like they just have to act like they're BFFs. Like they don't even know each other. And she's like kissing this woman on the cheek.
Right.
And there was another photo of Ariana Grande with Sabrina Carpenter where I thought, wow, Sabrina Carpenter looks shockingly human in this. And
Right.
Ariana Grande looks like she needs to be checked into an inpatient facility because what's going on here?
Ozempic?
I don't know if it's Ozempic or just a good old-fashioned eating disorder. Spotify also posted, "We may never recover from Ariana Grande's look at the VMAs," to which I said, she may never recover from it either.
Yeah.
She's at the point where like anorexia is going to have to recover from her. That's my personal opinion. She also gave a shout out to her therapists and gay people on stage saying, "Gay people, I love you," in the middle of her acceptance speech for Best Video.
And gay people, I love you.
I'm like, is it not like equivalent to like Trump eating a taco bowl and being like, I love the Mexicans?
Yeah, real.
It doesn't
Very
really
similar.
hit the same though, does it?
Right, because it's like the problem is it's too on the nose. Gay people like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too on the nose.
Yeah, like the Mexicans were not having
Yeah,
it
they
when
were like,
Trump
"What?"
posted with the taco bowl.
Right, but like gay people are like, this is that's
Okay,
so real.
but at all of these award shows, especially at the VMAs, with the history of the VMAs, these artists are trying to call back to a time when these events still had a cultural cachet. And that's what Sabrina Carpenter was doing with her performance. You can see in this photo, she's wearing these like low-rise jeans and like performing in the rain. It's channeling like 2001 Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera or both. People are kind of arguing about it. And she's adopted this aesthetic of this extremely culturally irreverent time.
Right.
But at the same time, in Sabrina Carpenter's performance of her new song Tears, she is on stage with a gaggle of RuPaul's Drag Race contestants, just a bunch of drag queens sauntering about with her. And then at the very end of her performance, they're posing with a bunch of signs that they made for this event.
Ah.
It's one of them says dolls, dolls, dolls. And if you didn't know, they're referring to men who identify as women. They're called dolls in the LGBT community because that's what they think being a woman is. It's like playing dress up. Another sign said, love each other, protect trans rights, support drag. And another one said, if you hate, you'll never get laid. And the worst one of all, I think, was in trans we trust.
There's
That's
one in the middle that
definitely
says,
veering into blasphemy.
the one in the middle says goodbye, and bye is spelled B-I.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting wordplay there. Another one says tip the dolls. Like what? They're strippers. You got to throw ones on stage. Yeah. So this is who Sabrina Carpenter aligned herself with in her performance. It's funny because a lot of people have pointed out the similarities between the way that actual women present themselves these days and drag queens. Like, the style of makeup has just completely assimilated to drag culture, including Sabrina Carpenter being like one of the most famous examples of that.
Like, she's quite pretty when she's like not.
Yeah, I mean, she's a woman, so like she's just going to look like a woman without makeup too.
Yeah. So this is interesting though, is because with the VMAs, with whatever potential market is out that they could capture, I don't think there's any market that this doesn't appeal to. Like, there's not really like a group that would otherwise watch the VMAs that's put off by this. I think people that are into this, broadly speak, obviously a few like individual exceptions, but I think broadly they've maximized their market, and this is what their market enjoys.
But also, broadly speaking, the VMAs and pretty much every other award show has been plummeting in ratings for years at this point. Part of that is obvious. It's just that our entertainment is so diversified, and people aren't, even the people who are into these things are going to consume it by the highlight reels that are on social media. They're not going to tune in to this on network television.
It's just the gay and gay adjacent left
so
over.
the football game instantly kicked over to this. So following the game, this popped on and was playing on my laptop, almost like I had been rated into the VMAs.
So how much of their ratings can they owe to the football fans who just forgot to turn off their TV?
Yeah, not to mention that I'm sure a lot of other people were like me when they were like, oh, fuck this, and they were excited to click the X in the top right-hand corner of the screen and completely get rid of it altogether, move on with their nights, and do something meaningful. That's basically what I did.
We've got a 20 here from Value in You. Brandon, do you tend to believe more in Bigfoot, aliens, or the paranormal? And based on your IWL experiences, why?
I mean, if I gotta choose,
none.
If I gotta choose, no. So probably aliens more than anything. I have a hard time believing that we're the only planet with existential capability in the entire universe. Well, not the universe, but the entire, the cosmos, I guess, as you would call it. I'm not huge into ghosts, although I've seen some stuff I can't explain, so I think it's a fair argument that can still be upheld. But I definitely think Bigfoot is a joke.
Okay.
I respect that.
Another thing that stood out to me about this is that it feels very 2018 to include like drag performances in an award show. Like, I've just been hearing all about how we're in this golden age, right? And we're experiencing the benefits of the cultural vibe shift that occurred after Trump's victory in November last year. And yet in these events, which despite their fading relevance, still uphold some I mean, the VMAs, like, you can't argue with the cultural cachet that carries till this day. They still are harping on the same exact vibes. They're still pre-vibe shift, essentially.
Do you not think that this is they're more just ghettos for woke, as far as like this is just sinking whatever woke culture's left? It just gets sunk into these events, and then it gets removed from other. Yeah. Because like the vast majority of institutions or events do feel like they're getting more normal. So these are almost like you're just sinking it with woke
remember
stuff.
that drag troupe? I think that might have been in like 2023 even, but it was like they dressed up as like drag nuns and called themselves the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence or something. That was at a sports game, right? That was at I think that was at a sports game. I don't remember
like
which
NHL.
one. Yeah, it was like something where the audience there had no idea what they were getting into, and a lot of them were rightfully, I think, offended by it because they're bringing their families to these events. And you might be correct that this is just what it looks like when like wokeness has been ghettoized and it's just like sort of saturated in these small spaces to the people that it's still relevant to.
It's not, those people are still there. They're watching the VMAs, so it's like they can just kind of sink it all into one sort of thing.
Right. But at the same time, you don't get more mainstream than Sabrina Carpenter's music, which is Billboard Top 40.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, it's been diversified, right? So it's like, okay, maybe award shows as a mechanism that they still are just in one thing, but where people's eyeballs are going has been spread out much more.
But the incoherence, the asymmetry between the aesthetic that they're drawing upon here, where Sabrina Carpenter is basically in like Christina Aguilera dirty cosplay, and her posing with all of these like trans activists.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me, I think, about it, because they want all the benefits of cosplaying that early 2000s vibe, but none of the values that allowed us to enjoy those times.
Right.
And it reminded me of this clip from the VMAs in 2003 that was recently making the rounds. I wanted to show that. So Chris Rock is hosting, and then he introduces the Olsen twins, who had recently turned 18, and they're walking out with David Spade. But you have to hear his announcement.
Barely Legal, and he's got a subscription to Barely Legal. Give it up for David Spade and the Olsen twins.
And then they play the Black Eyed Peas retarded version. Like, this exemplifies everything about 2003 in a short clip. And there were so many comments saying, well, maybe a little wokeness was called for.
Yeah, what was the original caption? Was like, if you wonder why millennials are so woke, it's because they grew up on this.
Another one said, I love reminding myself that wokeness is just literally making this planet a livable place.
Yeah, that's crazy. But, well, it's like the same thing where, was it Howard Stern where they were like, is she chopped or not or whatever? Or like the paperback where they brought like a bikini
that moment
and then,
too.
Yeah, and they're like, to be fair,
Right.
if you're a millennial and you grew up with that,
maybe
you know?
it is like a valid overreaction to the other extreme.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause that is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it's like,
But this isn't mean. This is just creepy.
I noticed that there was some nostalgia in the comments, and there is this nostalgia for what the culture was like in the 90s and the 2000s, and like, I don't have a living memory of that really, but people were also similarly nostalgic for it when the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle campaign dropped, and it felt like a return to, according to some, like a culture of sexual license, actually, because there is a more puritanical energy these days,
It's
even
like-
though it's weird. Like,
It's
there's-
puritanical without the prudishness.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
it's puritanical, but somehow without any of the actual like Christian standards of sexual morality.
It's more puritanical because they feel like sex is imbalanced towards men, and so it's like, you know, this is
Power
this is
dynamics and patriarchy.
So it's empowering to some degree. Yeah, exactly.
It's a weird thing. Like, moms in 2003 probably thought like, oh, that the Christina Aguilera is so trashy. Like,
yeah.
But now you have to worry about like literal drag queens walking around on stage. Like,
Sabrina Carpenter's makeup is intentionally meant to be off-putting to men.
I think
to a
so.
large
I think
degree.
she would probably admit that there is an aspect to her appeal that's like, it's for the girls and the gays.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the level, like, that is the benchmark for like sexual license now.
Or Tate McRae is actually, because she was in there earlier, she's a great example of like a pop star that's just listening to her marketing team of like, no, this is how you maximize your sex appeal broadly.
Right. Well, she also is like a global appeal.
Right. 'Cause she has to exist outside of the United States, the United States has this unique issue of like, how do we make otherwise pretty women as off-putting as possible?
But they also are like talking about how the Olsen twins were sexualized, and there was this like countdown
Yeah, it
to
was
their
Howard
18th
Stern as
birthday
well.
and all that. And they're like, oh, I'm so glad that we as a society just woke up one day and decided that that was so wrong and so disgusting. And we've grown so much and evolved so much past that time. But I don't think things like that went away at all.
They
In
didn't.
fact,
No.
actually now, like, you have examples like this kid influencer, Piper Raquel. She was the subject of this Netflix documentary called Bad Influence. And it was about her growing up basically in the spotlight because her mom was managing her social media accounts and getting her all of these brand deals and followers and exploiting her daughter for social media fame. And Piper Raquel turned 18 just a matter of weeks ago, and she was the one doing her own countdown. She was the one hyping up the countdown to her 18th birthday and debuting to the world with this like bikini photo shoot with her birthday cake and everything. And I'm like, okay, so clearly we never like put that behind us. In fact, it's even worse now.
Right, because now it's like just full blown like OnlyFans. Well, because it was the Asian girls like, I got more than your this worth more than your rent. What was her name?
Lil Tay.
Lil Tay did it. And also some people were saying like, oh no, this is just a one-off thing. This is like a 90s and 2000s like dirtbag thing. But I'm like, the Beatles literally have a song that opens up with "She was just 17." You know what I mean? It's like, I think as long as pop culture's existed, that this has existed to some degree.
Well,
it's just like, it's represented by different parts of the culture at different times.
It feels like the most important things, like having a sense of humor, are still policed, and then everything like regarding sexuality is not being policed whatsoever. So we're, as much as people want to wax poetic about like, we're post-cultural vibe shift and everything's going back to normal now, thank God. Well, that's actually not happening, because you need to like vet your friend group for like 3 months to find out if it's okay to say retarded around them.
Right.
And we're living in the age where like 82 million American men are subscribed to OnlyFans pages. So like, that's just where we're at now. I mean, not saying like 2003 was this like peak of Western civilization or anything. I don't think it could have existed without heading down the slippery slope to where we are now. Like, there's no reality in which we could have just paused cultural shifts in the early 2000s and kept it right there.
Because it's downstream from like philosophy, and it's, I mean, John Doyle says like, you can't ratchet liberalism back to an earlier stage and not expect the same outcome. It's
right.
Like, no matter how many times you freeze in the 90s and try and tweak a few things, you're still gonna get Sabrina Carpenter doing this, that, and the other.
Exactly.
And it's just everything post-sexual evolution is you've injected over-sexualization into your culture, and you're gonna get it. It's just, all we're seeing is just different arbiters of it at different moments, but it's still the same problem.
It's like been the same thing respawning since the early 2000s, honestly. The 90s, towards the end of it, started to dabble in it, and the 2000s really shifted into high gear. And it was about creating these people left and right and pulling them out of places like Disney and stuff like that.
Sabrina Carpenter is one of them. She's off the Disney pipeline as well.
A lot of them are. Britney was, Ariana Grande, to a certain degree. She also, she did that, what the hell was it? That show with Drake. Wasn't she in that?
Ariana Grande or
was
Miranda
she
Cosgrove?
No,
Miranda Cosgrove was in Drake and Josh, but Ariana Grande was in Victorious. Same showrunner though, like Dan Schneider was the one who was like running things back then at Nickelodeon. Yeah, and
but I feel like there were already big plans for all of them. So.
You know,
no, I have always like given Dan Schneider his flowers. Like obviously he's a creative genius, but that comes with a little bit of the crazy side too.
Yeah, you know, that's his muse.
But yeah, I just I feel like the bringing back the Y2K aesthetic just rings hollow when it comes with none of the benefits.
Right.
That was really what stood out to me about the VMAs. But we have to go to some super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Monday, Mary and Tate," and Brandon, but he didn't know you were here. "Now that Carlo Acutis is canonized, can we declare him the patron saint of PCC? As the patron saint of the internet and social media, I think it would be perfect. I believe there was a patron saint of like the internet at the very least before Carlo Acutis, although I forget who it is. But I would be okay with that. Yeah. Not that Jon Stewart said, "I can't believe Brett Cooper stole attention from Brett and Olivia by having her kid on the same day."
Yeah, that's really desperate of her, yeah.
Yeah, like that's just that's like social media these days. Everyone just wants to have the spotlight.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Sorry, Brandon, I didn't see you there."
Oh, that's fine, dude.
He's easy now. Brian Bledsoe said, ironic. Mary wanted episode 9/11 to be conspiratorial. Did I say that?
Is that true?
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I didn't realize it was episode 9/11 until like 30 minutes beforehand.
The timing is pretty close.
Yeah.
Still got a couple days, but
yeah, it's coming up. Never forget.
If I wanted to be all conspiracy, like, oh, it's 420 right now, like, whatever.
Oh, it's September 8th? Yeah, do you remember what happened on September 8th? Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Waiting to see how many people think Mary is serious. There's always one person who doesn't get sarcasm. They say that's a sign of mental illness."
What topic?
Is it?
What topic was he referring to?
About my complaining about the wedding. Yeah, if anyone thought like differently, just to clarify now, Brett's wedding was so fun and we're so happy that we got invited and it was awesome.
It was lit.
I had a great time. And you know what? People wouldn't believe me. You weren't even there to witness it, but I waited until the photographers were off the clock and left. Then I went out on the dance floor and then I was like free to enjoy myself without cameras around. But
was
a
like-
lot of people wouldn't know that. They think I hate everything and I'm just a dour bitch.
Yeah.
You
But
just-
I'm not.
you
I'm
just
actually
don't-
like really fun.
You just don't fuck with paparazzi.
No, yeah, I
Right.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Pops, get
end
out
up
of
in
here.
someone's carousel post. No.
Nightmare. Leaving
Hell
the
no.
function, you see yourself in the carousel. It's like, ah.
Yeah, but I was like requesting Justin Bieber songs.
That's
It was a
lit.
blast.
That was lit.
Greg Duvier said, at my wedding, we just did the bouquet toss. I didn't smash the cake in my wife's face. If I did, I would have felt bad doing it. Did play Cotton Eye Joe.
Based.
I've been to some weddings that played Cotton Eye Joe. I never participated in the line dances, though.
I do the line dances. I try to catch the girder. I do it all.
Wait, is someone in the crowd
full-blown-
supposed to catch the garter? Is that how that
no,
works?
well, yeah, because then
What?
you're next up to get married. Yeah. But they don't do the garter. The ones I don't
Oh,
do, they don't
that's
do
crazy.
the garter. They throw.
I don't want to
It's-
touch your lingerie.
No,
the garters are supposed to be single men.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be single men come out onto the floor.
But like I
then
go to a lot
the,
of
the
That is
groom
so
bites the
weird.
garter off of her leg. He has
That
to put
is
his head
so
under her
weird.
dress, bite the garter
But
off. Yeah,
I-
it's weird, but
I'm
that's
pretty much exclusive at like evangelical weddings, and they throw something. I never catch it, so I
An
never know what it
anklet.
is. It may be. Yeah, it's something that's like not gross.
Okay.
'Cause- yeah.
I don't want to like touch someone's sweaty lingerie that they've
Yeah.
been wearing all day.
Yeah. What do they? I think they just throw like something to do with the flowers or something.
Well, let me know how
And I never
the
catch it.
bouquet toss.
'Cause
If
the
you did the
new-
bouquet toss, I want to know if it got scrappy.
The new thing they're doing at weddings is the male that catches one and the female that catches the bouquet is
they're
they make
supposed
them
to dance or whatever.
Yeah, and my friend got
Yeah.
his girlfriend doing like this was 2 months ago. He got a girlfriend, the girl that got matched up with him, and they're still dating.
Well, that's sweet. I
yeah,
guess.
It's a
beautiful
half-ass
thing.
old school like fake pairing thing that they used
Mm-hmm.
to do at weddings because
So-
it was funny. Okay, haha, whatever.
If
you
you're
know, but
single
yeah,
and
it's
you're
weird.
desperate, just show up to random weddings and
Just
like
crash.
Yeah, just like box people out. to
You'll
get
meet
the-
someone eventually.
Well, yeah, if you can box out, catch the bouquet, get in there, and then you get matched, that's the best way. Just get off
Yeah.
the dating apps and do that. Just crash weddings.
Greg Duvier said, "Need crisis parties. We need cute of the day back. You're not getting cute of the day back until Brett's back. I'm sorry, but he was the one upholding that." Corey Anderson said, "Who honeymoons in Canada?" You actually, I think, sent that twice.
You just really want to let us know.
I don't know. Like, that was their choice. I can't explain it to you. You
Their
should ask Brett when he
prerogative.
gets back. American Metal Mama said, "One of the best things I ever did, secretly plan my wedding with my in-laws. We were already married, courthouse. My husband's family lives far and never gets to be a part of things. Chapel filled with all our family."
Nice.
People just, like, invite whoever to their wedding these days, I've noticed.
I mean, I got invited.
Well, I don't know. I think that was fair. I think it's fair to, like, invite a coworker, but, like...
No, yeah, I know.
The amount of like plus ones, like some part of it is like, do you really deserve to bring a plus one? Like,
Do we get into the?
I don't know.
Do we get into the? No.
We're not gonna get into something that happened at the wedding.
Yeah.
And you'll just hear that and nothing else about it.
Are you suggesting like a predetermined status quo being necessary for bringing a guest to a wedding?
I mean, maybe not for
Based
every-
off
some
of like your
people,
affiliation to the bride or the groom, then
I feel like you should know them. Yeah, like I feel like you shouldn't be a
because
total
I feel like the
stranger.
highest tier has their own table. They're a part of like the bridal party. They're a part of the groomsmen. Like
The
that's
back are
the
just the
highest regard for
randoms.
the guests that are there. Then you've got the parents, right? And then
Yeah.
everything following that is a shit show free for all.
Kinda.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I knew a couple. They got married like last year, and they invited like very fringe people because they knew that they would bring monster gifts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Is that what it
defensible.
is? Yeah, let's
That's
just
get
get everybody we
crafty.
can to toss us money.
So if
and
you go to a
gifts.
wedding and you know the couple well and you know like who they know and you meet some people that are like, okay, it's not family, so these are like randoms. Try like sniff around. They're probably making good money. That's probably what's going on.